Hello, everyone. Today, I want to discuss about a question that I commonly get asked from trainees and junior faculty about when they are doing research and trying to publish their paper, should they care about the journal impact factor? And should they care about the citations that they get? So do impact factor of the journals that they publish in and the citations that their paper gets, do these things matter? And classically, the teaching has been that they don't matter, right? People will tell you that where you publish does not matter as long as the quality of your work is good. You should focus on the quality of your work. And where you get it published, it does not matter. Or whether your paper gets cited by 1,000 people or by 100 people or by 10 or no one, it does not matter. What matters is whether you have done the right thing, whether you have published a good paper, whether you have done the good research. That's all that matters. The venue does not matter. The citations do not matter. That is what people will classically tell you. But I'm here to tell you that that is probably not in your best interest, especially early on in your career. Because, of course, the quality of the work is what matters, and your work should be of high quality. But your high quality work, your good research, whether it gets published in New England Journal of Medicine or Lancet or JAMA or JCO or Annals or any of the top tier journals versus it gets published in a journal with no impact factor of 1 or 2, it does matter. It matters. The goal here is to reach a stage in a career where these things stop mattering. Then it does not matter. The people who tell you that these things don't matter have already reached at a stage in their career where it does not matter anymore. And then it stops to matter. But if you are early on in your career, then it does matter. If you tell me that you have published a paper in New England Journal or Lancet, then it does matter compared to if you say that you have published a paper in a journal that I have never even heard of. It does make a difference. Nowadays, the granting agencies and the promotion agencies, they are becoming more cognizant of the fact that it's not just the journal that counts, which is a good step. Don't get me wrong. I don't think where you publish should matter, but the reality is that it does matter. And it is a poor surrogate, but it is a surrogate for the quality of the work. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been several high-profile articles published in these high-profile journals that have been retracted, that have misled people, that should not have been published in the first place. If you talk about oncology, my domain of research, I'm surprised literally every week seeing papers published in these top-tier journals that should not have been published in the first place. Papers full of bias, misleading conclusions, and these are still getting published in top-tier journals. That problem does exist. You should not take the name of the journal as a surrogate for quality of the paper. Just because a paper is published in New England Journal or Lancet or JAMA does not make it a good paper. You have to use critical eyes to evaluate these papers. But you, as a junior person or as a trainee, as an early career researcher, it does matter whether you get published in a top journal versus a mediocre journal. Again, for example, some of my best works, they have been published in not a high profile journal. In fact, one of the pieces that I really like that I have written myself is about breaking bad news in different countries in the world, comparing my subjective experience of breaking bad news to cancer patients in Nepal versus Japan versus Canada and how it differs. And I published it in Medscape, which is not even a traditional journal in that sense, but it is one of the must-read pieces that I have written. And there are like more than 100 comments in this piece. And if it was published in a traditional journal with paywalls, then probably it would not have reached as big of an audience. And similarly, some of the papers that I have published that I'm really proud of have been published in journals that I really like and admire for the philosophy, like eCancer or Journal of Global Oncology. And these journals, they do not have super impressive impact factors, but I have published these papers there, and I'm super proud of these papers, and I'm super proud of the journals. But again, I have also published in New England, Lancet, JAMA, JCO annals. So I have already published in these journals, and now I can afford to publish in not top tier journals, and people will read it because of uh, because of the research career that I have had. But when you are starting, you should not be misled by people who tell you, oh, it does not matter where you publish. If you have a chance between getting published in a top tier journal versus a mediocre journal, definitely choose the top tier journal. Um, it does matter. But once you have published enough, I have now almost 200 papers. So if you have published enough, then it stops mattering, and then it does not matter. And then it is easy for people to tell that it does not matter. But before you have published a lot, if you're earlier in your career, it does matter. Hope this is helpful.